Welcome everyone to what should prove to be a riveting game of the X-Files CCG. Joining me here is Guillaume. How's it going, Guillaume?
Hi, good. Hi everyone.
And I'm Steven, and so we will be playing an advanced version of the X-Files collectible card game. Guillaume, who are your agents that are going to be going toe-to-toe with mine today?
Okay, so tonight I'm going to be using 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, Charles Burke, Albert Hosteen, Agent Kresge, and Agent Mobox.
Excellent. And my team, if you've seen my previous broadcasts, is going to include Agent Fox Mulder and Assistant Director Walter Skinner, Agent Kresge and Detective Manners, both of the 1013 edition, and last but not least, Albert Hosteen. And so, Guillaume, looks like we are set to go. We both have our X-Files. Mine is here,
yes.
And yours is right there. I really love your playing field, and as I may have mentioned in previous, it's quite different from the one that we use here in the States.
Yeah, I changed it up a little bit. Usually, I have two versions. I have a blue version and a red version, and I decided to use the red for one, so I'll see if it brings me luck.
Without further ado, let's get into this. We'll be drawing 7 cards. Alright, so we will begin in the debriefing phase, and I will be drawing a free card. And looking at the resource values of my team here, Mulder has 2, but his will be used to purchase cards. Skinner has 1, but his game effect says that he has a res value of 3 if he is in the bureau section of the table, but which he currently is at this point. Kresge and Detective Manners each have a res value of 0, and Albert Hosteen has a res value of 1. So I will be netting a total of 4 to my resource pool, and I'll be drawing 2 cards for Mulder's effect. And I'll pass it over to you, Guillaume.
Alright, well, I don't have many cards to sell, so I think I am just going to, unfortunately I'm going to have to sell Kristen Kilar for 3, which brings me to 9 CP, and I am going to just draw 1 card.
Looking at what I currently have, I believe, she will be making an appearance on my end of the stream in just a moment. First things first, I'm going to play Hard Evidence for 2, and that is going to add 5 tokens to my resource pool. So that costs 2, so I will be adding 3.
This isn't official procedure. Really? Oh, go on. It's probably a safe bet Ray Soames never made the varsity basketball team.
Yeah, because I currently have a site with occult investigation. It would behoove me to use one of Detective Manners' 2 tokens, which will allow me to discard 1 token to search through my bureau deck and add 1 witness to my hand. I will be showing you that witness momentarily, Guillaume, though it will be no surprise because I just told you which witness I will be adding as soon as I find her.
You're wrong about that, Scully. But I do think you're right about one thing, that this case might not have anything to do with aliens.
Hey, I just got a call from some crazy blankety-blank claiming he found a real live dead alien body.
Welcome back to the
Kilar.
game, Miss Kilar.
Yeah.
Your doppelganger is sitting over in Guillaume's discard pile currently at the moment, if you wish to say hello.
Just in case anyone is wondering what the agent cards are on the left side of my table, I have a copy of Steven's agent cards so that I can look over every agent skill if I decide to play an adversary or a bluff. So that's how I do it to see if the card I'm going to be playing is useful or not.
you knew coming into it, because I really haven't changed up my team in a while, so you knew which agents were going to be greeting me once we got this game going.
Before we started recording, I was a little earlier, and your table was showing, so I had time to prepare the agent cards.
So I will be playing Miss Kilar for 3, so that will take my resource pool down to 9. Alright, so now I think we're gonna move past the healing and the healing and requisition phases, because currently I do not. Oh wait, I take that back. I do have a equipment card that I want to actually requisition, and that is the satellite photos, which will add 2 to the agent's alien investigation skill, and I will be affixing that to Agent Kresge. And so now we'll proceed to the deployment phase. We will be moving all agents except for Assistant Director Skinner to the field. And we'll begin this game with an investigation of a multi-site, specifically 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Convalescent Home in Worcestershire, Massachusetts. As I said, that is a multi-site with the keywords method, motive, occult investigation, and criminal investigation. And because both the keywords occult investigation and criminal investigation appear on that card, Miss Kilar will be generating 2 RP.
How nice of her.
Thank you very much, Miss Kilar. I await any bluffs you may have for me.
So I'm going to play 2 bluffs.
2. Alright, we will be calling you on those bluffs. Let's see them.
So the first one is deceiving the flop. Force an opponent to discard 1 card from their hand at random. It's a 1 CP card, so since it was face down, it's free. Alright, so you can add the third one from the right.
Third one?
Yes, that one.
That one?
Yeah.
That would be Chester Bonaparte, who I probably would have sold in the next round. Let's see the second one.
And the second one is, if I can flip it over, it's limited choices. So play this card to cause the investigating player to discard X number of cards chosen randomly from his hand. So X is the number of CP that I have to play. So how many cards do you currently have in your hand?
How many cards do I currently have? 6.
Alright. I'm going to play 4.
But I'm afraid Langley objects to that bluff, so he will be negating that particular bluff, which will take me down from 7 to 5.
I was afraid of that, but that's why I decided not to go all in. And that's it. I don't have any more useful bluffs to play. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Alright then, thank you very much. Since that site investigation proved successful, I will be asking either a motive or method question. So let's say we take a crack at your X-Files motive. Is it survival?
I'm going to discover it because I always choose my X-File randomly. So, is it survival? It is not survival.
It is not. I am being extra cautious with my checklist given my last couple of games. So we'll discard that site, and then we will move to the debriefing phase. I am currently holding 5 cards, of which I am quite fond of them all, so I will be keeping them.
I have 5 cards as well.
In that case, let's pass it over to you, Guillaume.
Alright, so I'm going to draw my free card. I'm going to generate my res. 2 for credit check, 1 for Brooke, 1 for Hosteen, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 res. I'm just going to draw one card. And since we are still in the briefing phase, I'm going to play Friend in the FBI. So, place this card in the bureau, place 10 tokens on this card. During your briefing phase, you may take up to 2 tokens from this card and place them in your resource pool. So, it's a 2 RP card, so I'm only going to be putting 8 tokens on it to pay for the card.
I will be selling just one card, the 2 Lux video camera, for 5. And of those 5, I will purchase 3 cards and add 2 to my conspiracy pool. Back to you, sir.
No healing, no requisition. I'm going to move everyone to the field. Okay. I'm going to be investigating 2 sites, coastal Northwest Oregon and Arlington, Virginia. So I'm going to use Box's token to pay for part of Arlington, since it's an occult investigation, and I'm going to pay 3 tokens for the rest of the sites. So coastal Northwest Oregon is Alien Investigation 4+, and it's an affiliation question. And Arlington, Virginia is Occult Investigation, and it's also an affiliation question.
Both affiliation questions, huh?
Yeah, yes.
I will be placing...
And hold on, and just before you play anything, I'm going to use Hosteen's token to look at your hand.
Alright, well played.
So basically, playing Albert's token allows me to look at Steven's hand, and then I get to choose one card. And if Steven plays that card, then I get to ask a characteristic question about his X-file.
The first one in my hand is Private McAlpin, the zombie.
Okay.
The next one is Jerusalem, Ohio, the site. The next one is Jose Chunks from Outer Space. Then 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, Computer Access Denied, Car Troubles, and Laser Barrier.
Wow, okay. Quite a selection to choose from. Private McAlpin, can you remind me what his activators are?
You are safe in that sense because he can only attack a motive site.
Alright. Okay.
But I know you'll be filing that away in your memory for later on.
I'm going to write it down. Okay. So you get Laser Barrier, Computer Access Denied,
Car Troubles, and Jose Chunks from Outer Space.
Yeah.
Those are the other CP cards that can be used to thwart you in this game.
I'm going to choose I'm going to choose Jose Chunks.
Jose Chunks from Outer Space?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, so now I will be casting 2 bluffs on those sites. I'll be casting 1 on there and 1 on there. 1 on each.
Okay. So I'm going to send Charles Burke and Albert Hosteen. I'm going to send them to Arlington, Virginia. And I'm going to send 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 and Mobox to Oregon. And we can start the investigation in Oregon. And Kresge stays in the field, but he's not investigating anything.
Oregon being the one that 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 and Mobox are investigating, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so that bluff is Laser Barrier. So play to prevent one agent assigned to a site from contributing this agent's skills to one skill check. Your choice. And we will be taking Mobox out of this equation. We'll be taking Krychek out of this equation. My bad. And that's going to cost me 1.
I'm going to play Langley on that site, on that bluff.
All right.
For 2.
In that case, I will be casting Computer Access Denied for 2.
So I'm going to play Spying Mission. Play on any team. If the team makes a Subterfuge 4 skill check, it may use this card to immediately negate any one card that requires them to make a non-combat skill check. So Krychek has Subterfuge 4, so I'm going to pay 2 for the card.
Well done. I have nothing further, so you may fire away at that one.
Is your affiliation primordial?
It is not.
Alright. And we're moving over to Arlington, Virginia. Occult investigation 4+.
And you said Kresge is not investigating, is that correct?
No, he's not investigating.
Yeah, so I will... that's the card troubles, but that is not going to be coming in handy in this particular one. So I will not be playing that one.
Do you
take
have
a second crack
at
my X-Files affiliation?
Is your X-Files affiliation evolutionary?
It is not.
Okay, so that one is discarded as well. And I only have 2 cards left in my hand, so I have nothing else to play.
Well done. That was a hell of a round. Alright, let's swing this back over to me. I will be drawing my free card, and because Skinner is still in the Bureau, he will be generating 3 resource points, and Albert Hosteen will be generating 1 as usual. I will buy 1 card, and in addition to Mulder's 2, and add 3 to the pool. Back to you, sir.
I only have 1 card to sell. I'm going to be selling Chester Bonaparte for 5. I'm going to be buying 3 cards. And back to you.
One of the 3 cards that I drew at the start of the round was Blue Plate Special, which I will be playing now. Play this card and flip over the next card in your Bureau deck. If that card is playable this turn, you may do so for 0 cost. If you do not play it this turn, move the card to your discard pile. So if in order for it to be playable, it'll have to be a investigating player resource card. So let's see what it is. And it's Quick Wag. Yeah.
Nature's calling. I think we should pull over soon.
Did you really have to bring that thing?
So we'll be moving on to the requisition phase because I have no agents worth healing, and I will be assigning Queequeg to Agent Mulder. Queequeg has an activator of Field, which means he can only be assigned to an agent in the field.
I was good. Yeah.
Those who are unaware, I will discard Queequeg to negate any one primordial or evolutionary adversary. Each player may only have 1 of this card in their decks. We'll be deploying our agents as is. Skinner still has a ton of paperwork in the Bureau to take care of, so he will not be joining the team, who will be moving over to Jerusalem, Ohio, which is an occult investigation site, and it also has a keyword of method. And I will be using 1 of Mulder's tokens to pay for that site.
Alright.
And Miss Kilar will be generating 1 resource to my pool because it does have the keyword occult investigation.
I'm just going to play 1 bluff.
1 bluff.
Yeah.
I will call you on that bluff.
So it's... That's Peter Tanaka, So play to change the site prerequisite to observation 3+. So yeah, I'm not going to pay for it because you do have observation 3+, but I just wanted to get rid of the card, so...
Good call. Do you have any other cards you'd like to hit me with?
Unfortunately, no.
And in that case, I will be throwing a method question your way, sir.
Alright.
By any chance, is your X-Files method violence?
My method is not violence.
Okay. Let's say we are more or less evenly paced at this point.
Yeah.
Which makes it anyone's game. And we will switch it to the debriefing phase. Which cards, if any, will you be discarding?
No, you only have 3, so I'm keeping all of them.
And I will be discarding just one, the Jose Chunks from Outer Space, because I couldn't bear to have you ask any further questions regarding my X-File. And it is your turn, sir.
Alright, so I'm drawing my free card. I am going to generate my 5 res. I'm going to use 2 tokens from a friend in the FBI. So that's 2 more res. And I'm going to be playing reading the sign on Berg and Hosteen. So play on any team in the field. If the team makes an occult investigation 4+ skill check, they may take 2 tokens from their opponent's conspiracy pool and add them to their resource pool. It's a 0 RP cost card.
Alright, so you're taking 2 from mine?
Yes.
My resource pool?
From your conspiracy pool.
Okay.
And I am going to draw 4 cards.
I will be selling the shotgun for 6, and of that 6, I will add 4 to my conspiracy pool, and I will be buying 2 cards. Before we move out of the briefing phase, I'm going to play the video trap.
There's something non-standard here in the vertical blanking interval. Information that's being added into the spaces between the still pictures.
What kind of information?
We don't know.
This is as far as we could get with this equipment.
Well, can you take it apart?
Not without destroying it completely. That's by design.
An amazingly sophisticated design. But all we can say for sure is...
This device is emitting a signal.
Which will allow me to draw 1 card for free in each of my opponent's briefing phases. That's going to take me down to 2 conspiracy points, and I will draw that free card. Do you have anything you'd like to requisition?
So no requisition, no healing. We're going to investigate Skyline Mountain.
Freeze! Yes! I said freeze! Where is she? I'm free, you son of a bitches! You can't touch Dwayne Barry anymore! Don't move! Ah! Don't move! I'm not going anywhere! Where is she? Where'd you leave her? They took her! Who? Them!
Which is subterfuge 4+ and method question.
For that,
and I'm going to pay 2 for the site.
And I will be playing 1 bluff on said site.
So you can go ahead and reveal your bluff.
Well, I'm afraid that Detective Thompson takes issue with your team's investigation.
Any suspects yet, Detective?
I don't work for you, sir. And unless you hear different from the Attorney General, this case is a local matter.
Agent Mulder, we should go.
There's no need to get bent out of shape.
On the contrary, I think I've been exceedingly polite.
And he will be changing your site's prerequisite to Bureaucracy 3, of which I'm afraid you are lacking, my good friend.
Yeah, that's true.
And that bluff being face down will take my conspiracy pool down to 0, which thankfully is all I needed to upend your investigation.
I have nothing else to play then. So we can move to debriefing. I have 6 cards in my hand.
I have 5. I'll be holding on to all of them. Now we will pass it back over my way, and I will begin by drawing a free card. I will be generating 2 cards from Mulder and an additional 2, and I will be adding 2 to my resource pool. Sell as you may, sir.
So I'm going to sell the Geiger counter for 2 and the shotgun for 6. So I'm going to add 8 to my conspiracy pool, which brings me up to 14. And I'm going to buy 5 cards.
5 cards. I will play my second hard evidence to add 5 tokens to my pool, but the cost of the card being 2 means I will only net 3 additional resource points. I have nothing to requisition, so we will be deploying our team, and surprise, surprise, they will be remaining as they are. Before I play the site, I'm going to pay street contacts for 1, which will allow me to search through my bureau deck and place any 1 witness card in my hand. Show your witness to your opponent, shuffle your bureau deck, and I will take my resource pool down to 13. And Guillaume, would you like to take a guess at which witness will be joining us in this investigation?
Is Kevin Morris going to join us?
It is indeed Kevin Morris, as soon as I find the young man.
It's coming from there.
The TV?
Where are you, Kevin? I know you're in here. There you are. Alright, so Kevin Morris adds 1 to your pool every time a keyword alien investigation or evidence collection card is played, and he will be joining our team for the low cost of 3 resource points. Wouldn't you know, it wouldn't be a game without Kevin Morris, right?
That's true.
Now, let's say we jump into case assignment. We will be taking a little stroll over to Albert Hosteen's neighborhood in Farmington, New Mexico. It is a multi-site which contains the keywords motive, method, alien investigation, and computer. And I did hear that keyword alien investigation card or keyword just now, so Mr. Kevin Morris will be paying for that particular site. And before you have a chance to drop any cards, I'm going to be playing Albert Hosteen's token to take a look at which cards you just added to your hand. Which there were decidedly many.
Yeah. So I have thorough documentation, successful diagnosis, Cumberland Prison, Lake Okoboji, Jerusalem, Ohio. So far, nothing that can...
Just RP cards, yeah.
Alright, so I have computer access denied, I have Joseph Patnick, I have Deadly Blur, and I have Operation Falcon Blue Beret.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Alright,
so Blue Beret is a method site, Deadly Blur is motive, Patnick is result, and computer access denied, you know. So these are the 4 CP cards that I have. Unless you want to prevent me from going to Jerusalem, Ohio.
No, it's alright. Jerusalem, Ohio is nice this time of year. And then Joseph Patnick is result, so he's harmless.
Yeah.
This particular round.
For now, yeah.
Okay. We'll be attaching Hosteen's token to the Operation Blue Berets.
Alright.
Whew, that was like Sophie's
good.
Choice there for X-Files CCG. Good lord. Wow, this is gonna. I can already see this is gonna be an interesting round. All right. What do I want to do here? I know you got a lot, quite a bit there you can throw at me. I think, for starters, I'm going to play Warning from the Loa for 2, which will force my opponent to reveal any adversary cards in his hand. If the opponent has 1 or more, discard 1 at random. So I already know you have 3.
Yeah, I have.
Hosteen's token is cast on 1, and the other one, Joseph Patnick, is unplayable for this particular round. If I can choose wisely, I might be able to negate that.
So I'm shuffling them, so I don't even know which one is where. And
granted, if I
I'm
get
placing
Patnick now, then that means he won't be hitting me later. So really,
That's true.
As long as I don't hit the Falcons in my choice, then this will be a worthwhile endeavor. So let's say we take. What's that?
Which one do you want me to reveal?
Let's go with the middle one.
This one?
Yeah. Oh!
Yeah.
Darn it!
Yeah. So I have to discard it. So I have to discard it. Is that correct?
You have to discard it. Ugh. All right. That means. Oh boy. I would have been happy with either of the other 2.
Yeah,
well,
I can imagine.
Alright, well, shall we proceed then?
Yeah.
Alright.
So,
which one?
I am not.
You have no bluffs.
So no bluffs, and I'm going to play Computer Access Denied first for 2.
Alright, for that one, I have an easy solution.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. And that is Throw Icky for 3. Will negate any one event card played on my team. So that takes my resource pool down to 5. So that one's out of the way. But there's still one other deadly ringer waiting in the wings.
Oh, okay. I'm going to pay it.
All right.
I'm just hoping that you don't have Colonel Marcus Belt in your hand. It's adversary alien creature. Oh. No,
he's not in my hand.
Okay.
And I don't recall. I don't believe he's in my Bureau deck either, so playing Detective Manager's Last Witness token, I don't think would help me out in this case. So I won't be doing that because I'm almost positive, because there really aren't that many alien adversary cards. Or there just aren't that many that have a tendency to be played. So I won't be doing that. So my only other recourse is to play the Erlenmeyer flash for 4, which negates any one card or Alien Investigation skill check. And that Erlenmeyer flash does contain the keyword Alien Investigation, so Mr. Kevin Morris will be subtracting 1 from that cost, which takes my resource pool down to 2.
Well, I don't have anything else, which is good because I don't have any CP left. So you can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. And I get to choose between motive or method again. Is, by any chance, your X-Files method manipulation? And I think maybe it says manipulation of evidence or something like that.
My method is manipulation, yeah.
It is?
Yes.
Wow.
So I think you have me down to 4, if I crossed off things correctly.
Yes, and I ruled out Occult as your X-Files affiliation as a result. So, not too shabby. I am... Looking at that now, I am sort of regretting not playing a different card in this round, which you're going to see as soon as we pass it over to you. And the more I'm thinking about it, I'm regretting not doing it, because it would have actually helped me narrow it down a little bit more.
So I have 6 cards left in my hand.
I have 4, and my resource pool is quite lacking at this point. As is my conspiracy pool, actually. So that
Yeah,
does
so,
work well
yeah.
for you going into this next round.
Yeah, but actually I'm at 0 as well. So actually we're almost, yeah. All right.
But hey,
so
it
I'm
is
going-
making for a riveting game. I did promise a riveting game for our viewers, and so far, I believe we're living up to that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so I'm going to be picking my free card.
As will I, thanks to the video trap.
Video trap. I'm going to be generating my res. So that's 5 plus the 2 from friend in the FBI. So that's 7. Puts me up to 12. I am going to. I'm going to draw 2 cards. I drew blue plate special, so I'm going to play it right away. So, as you previously said, I get to draw the first card of my bureau deck, and if it's playable this turn, I may do so for 0 RP. So it's Central Prison, Raleigh, North Carolina.
That is indeed playable.
Yeah, not the best choice, but yeah. Okay, I'm going to set it aside, so if I decide not to go there, I will discard it at the end of the turn. And
Can't imagine you wouldn't.
And before we go any further, I'm going to play Deep Throat for 5.
Leave this case alone, Agent Mulder.
What?
The military will not tolerate an FBI investigation.
Who are you?
I can be of help to you. I've had a certain interest in your work.
That card cannot be negated either.
No.
Alright, what question will you be asking me?
An affiliation question. I'm going to be asking, is your affiliation government?
It is not government.
I'm not having the best luck tonight. Alright, so I put Deep Throat aside because once you played it, you cannot use it again in the game.
He is removed from the game.
Yeah, and you can go ahead.
So, as I was saying in the last round, there was one other card that I had the choice of playing, but I chose not to because I was going to need to replenish my conspiracy pool in the next round. However, a message from the stars, which would have allowed me to negate the deadly blur. In addition, if my team makes an alien investigation skill check of 6, which they clearly do, I would have been able to ask either an affiliation or motive question in addition to the question from the site investigation. But then again, in the next round, I would not have had much to sell, so I kept the long game in mind. But it hurts to not be able to play that card.
No, we never see it.
I will be adding 4 to the conspiracy pool and drawing 1 card. And I move it over to you to heal and requisition equipment if you so choose.
So no healing and no requisition, and I'm going to play 2 sites. I'm going to play Cumberland Prison and I'm going to be playing Jerusalem, Ohio. I'm going to use Box's token to pay for 1 for Jerusalem, Ohio, and I'm going to be paying the 3 other RPs. So Cumberland Prison is subterfuge for plus and affiliation, and Jerusalem, Ohio is occult investigation and method question. And I'm going to discard Central Prison right away, so I don't forget, because I'm not going to be playing it this turn.
One bluff on each site.
Alright, so cry check and Boggs go to Cumberland Prison, and Burke and Albert Hosteen are going to Jerusalem, Ohio, and Kresge stays behind. And we're going to start with Cumberland Prison. So subterfuge 4+ and affiliation question.
Alright, so I will flip over the bluff attached to that one. And it is a nasty surprise. And which will add 5 tokens to my pool. Seeing as it was face down, it will add 3.
Alright, is there any other cards that you'd like to play?
There is.
I was
there is indeed.
Sure, I'm sure.
Oh, remind me, what were the question possibilities for both of those?
So the current one, Cumberland, is affiliation, and the other one, Jerusalem, is method.
Okay, yeah, that settles it for me. We'll be ending this round immediately. Unexplainable time loss, for those who are unaware, forces an opponent to make a Sciences 4 skill check, or the current player's turn ends immediately. And unfortunately, Krychek and Mobox are lacking in the Sciences department.
I should not have split into 2 teams, but yeah. Damn time loss. Well, there is nothing I can do to negate that.
If it's any consolation, the other bluff, had you chosen that one first, would have been the sinus cavity implant. So that one doesn't get played on one of your agents, thankfully.
That's true. And if I had chosen Jerusalem, I would have had the sinus cavity, and then you would have played. Okay, so yeah. No.
Had you
regrets.
chosen the other one first, I would not have had enough conspiracy points to play Unexplainable Time Loss because I had 4 at that point. So thankfully you chose the other one. So the nasty surprise actually netted me just enough conspiracy points to be able to play it. So had you chosen the other one first, you would have been able to successfully investigate that one, and I would have had to, yield to one question. But I was banking on you just playing the other one. Yeah. So I'm currently only holding 2 cards in my hand,
and I have 5.
All right, so let's pass it back over to my turn, and I'll be starting off with a free card. And of the 4 resource points that Skinner and Hosteen generate, I will draw 2 cards for Mulder, and then I will pay for an additional card and add 4, for a total of 6. What will you be selling?
Well, since I have 0 CP and you're getting dangerously close to my X-File, I'm going to be, and I don't have a lot of high-cost cards, so I'm going to be selling Lake Okoboji for 2, Successful Diagnosis for 2, Thorough Documentation for 2, and Run for It for 2. So I'm going to be adding 8 to my conspiracy pool, and going to be drawing I'm going to be drawing 4 cards, so I'm only adding 4.
That was practically a mini mulligan of selling cards at that point, because you emptied out your hand almost.
And passing it back to you.
I have no one to heal and no one to requisition equipment at this point. But I will be playing Deep Throat. unless you can negate. Oh, you can't negate Deep Throat because Deep Throat may not be negated. So that takes my resource pool down to 1.
And I don't have any enough CP to play Deny Everything. So
no, you don't. No, you don't.
Go ahead.
All right. So with Deep Throat's ability, I will be asking one characteristic question regarding your X-File. Is your X-File's affiliation alien?
Yes, it is.
Now have you down to 2 possibilities.
Yeah.
So should my investigation prove successful, then there probably won't be much in the way to prevent this game from coming to a close. For what may prove to be our last assignment, we will be sending the team to Dead Horse, Alaska, a multi-site, and it contains the keywords affiliation, result, alien investigation, or evidence collection. And thankfully, Kevin Morris generates 2 to my pool because both alien investigation and evidence collection are present on that card. So I now have 3 resource points to help me survive this investigation. What do you have for me, Guillaume?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have any bluffs.
Oh, and I'm going to be using one of Mulder's tokens to pay for the site. Alright,
Alright.
Almost forgot about that.
So I don't have any bluffs to play, so you can send your team to the site.
Oh boy, no bluffs, huh?
No bluffs, no.
Means you might be sitting on something else. Alright, let's have it.
I'm going. Well, since it's my last chance, I'm going to be playing Joseph Patnick for 4. It's a result activator. Can you deny him? Negate him, sorry.
He is a
so he's government and phenomena keywords and activators are conspiracy and results.
He's a government adversary, that you say.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 cannot negate either of those. But Detective Manners is sitting on 1 remaining token. And if I'm not mistaken, I do have Sheriff Mazerotsky in my bureau deck. And if I'm not mistaken, he only costs 3. So let's check that to see if I am correct.
I'm hoping that you're wrong, but I'm sure you remember your deck correctly.
Well, Guillaume, I am partially incorrect. Because Sheriff Mazerotsky does not cost 3, as I had thought. He actually costs 2.
2, yeah.
And he negates 1 government adversary.
Get him out of here. Get everyone out of here.
Alright.
And that takes my resource points down to 1. Not much wiggle room left if you have anything else you'll be playing on me. Which, I just realized you have 0 conspiracy points left, so it doesn't look like there's much in the way to stop this last question, is it?
No,
well,
go ahead.
There's 2 questions minimum.
Yeah.
I will be asking either an affiliation or result question, and so obviously I know that your affiliation is alien, so I'll be asking, is your X-Files result physiological imbalance?
No, it is not.
In that case, Guillaume, you are the 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬.
No, I'm not.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, I'm just kidding. I am the 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬.
Okay. Oh, you realize I'm just coming off of that game with David, where
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way I could do this again. All right, the 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬s, it is. They have been unveiled.
Yeah. When I almost discarded my whole hand and picked new cards, I had Nurse Owens and Mrs. Mulder, which would have been great to sell for CP, and I had a second Joseph Patnick, which I would have loved to be able to play right away. But yeah, and I also had a second Deep Throat, so yeah.
Shall I unveil my X-File? Just a guess for fun?
Were you Mrs. Paddock?
I was not, but rather alien experimenters. So you were looking at the bottom of the checklist as opposed to the top of the checklist. That game really gave me a run for my money, and I have to commend you on that. So I hope our viewers find it to be as riveting as it was for each of us.
Yeah, that's great because we were able to, we had to play a lot of cards to counter what the other one was playing. Yeah, so that really put a toll on our resource and conspiracy pool though. Yeah, and I got to play Spying Mission, which I didn't get to play the last time we played the game, so...
Yeah, the Deadly Blur, as much as I like seeing it, I definitely don't want it played against me because the agents who are injured as a result, even if their health isn't reduced, they are still getting hospitalized with severe radiation burns.
Yeah, and also each opponent's long range and close range combat is reduced by 1 point. So
yeah, Message from the Stars. I would love to see an alternate timeline in which I did play that one, but then how the next round would have gone, I shudder to think, because that would probably make, for me, it would be the darkest timeline, because I'm not certain I would have been able to stop you in the subsequent round had I not kept that card in order to sell in the next round, because I didn't have much else in the way. I mean, I could have sold the Erlenmeyer Flask, but that one doesn't cost as much, or that one doesn't provide as much for selling as the Message from the Stars did. But man, I would have loved to actually get to play that card for once. This was probably the most adversaries I've been up against in recent games. Typically 1 or 0.
Yeah, that's true.
And you were at one point sitting on 3.
Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, I already had Joseph Patnick in my hand, and then I drew the other 2 at the same time.
I'm trying to get a sense of how many. So you have at least 4 adversaries in your games. You said you have 2 Patnicks.
I have 2 adversaries for each. I have 2 affiliation, 2 result, 2 motives, and 2 methods.
And you were deftly avoiding playing any motive site, which would have allowed for the zombie to come into the game.
Well yes, and now that you mention it, I was actually trying to avoid motive sites, but then I could have just used Brux's token to negate him. It's an occult adversary. Yeah.
Again, one of the cards that I have in my deck, and because it is still pretty substantial, not as much as it had been since like our mini tournament, I do have the mailman in here, but he doesn't come up. He almost came up, like he was like a couple cards away from coming up in my last game against David. A great way to make optimal use of the mailman would have been to take Burke's token
and then
give it to Hosteen on my end here, or take your Hosteen token and give it to mine. But usually, you and I are pretty quick to use that token early on in the game. So the odds of getting to use Hosteen's token, taking Hosteen's token from you and giving it to me after I had used mine, because you can't add a second token to Hosteen if he's still sitting on his first one.
That's true. I think in previous games, in one of the first games that I ever played, I didn't use a burst token until I think at least halfway through the game, and so yeah, it was still useful, but not as useful as when you play the token right away. I think his token should be played, almost immediately.
Yeah. I used to have Mulligan in my deck early on, but I think I've just, like, after whittling down more and more cards, it just occurred to me that it's like there's probably no point where I'd want to just give up everything in my hand.
I think maybe Mulligan could be, I guess, useful. For instance, if you've played Albert's token and your opponent has seen your whole hand, and if you just decide, well, I don't want my opponent to know which cards I'm holding, so I'm just throwing everything away, I'm picking something new. But you have to play it right away, otherwise it's just useless.
That's true. So, but yeah, it would be interesting to see. And I see you actually did have a comment, so I'm going to open up that comment. It's probably David. It was David. Guillaume, I hope you added Assassinated to your deck to take care of Kevin Morris and Kilar. And then he followed that up with, it's that little troublemaker Kevin Morris.
So, hold on.
Yeah, I know you watched that last game. So
yeah.
I don't know if you took that strategy to heart.
I did. Actually, I did put Assassinated in my deck, and I just cannot find it. But I did put Assassinated, and I also put Witness Intimidated as well. Oof. Yeah. Play on any witness during your opponent's investigation phase. Pay X, where X is the cost of the witness card is negated. So I figure I was hoping at least one, either Witness Intimidated or Assassinated would come up, but it didn't. But now you know that I have that in my hand, but that's not a big surprise. And I'm sure David has at least 2 Assassinated in his hand now.
Yeah, I'm inclined to keep them in the game because, as you saw towards the end, I was able to play Dead Horse Alaska, which had both those keywords, so Kevin was able to generate 2 at that point, which was, it's things like that, for this game that we played, the amount of points in our pool was proving to be crucial.
Speaking of pools, since we've been playing quite a few games, do you think 5 RP and 5 CPs to start the game is too little, or would 10 be too much? Because that's I was wondering how they decided to start the game with 5, because if you want to play some of the cards, you need to have resources. So
I've seen, not necessarily in games that I've played, or recent games that I've played anyway, that but I have seen it happen where players are slowed down by not having enough resources, so they wind up having to maybe skip some rounds because they don't have enough points to do anything, or to do much of anything. Much in the way you get slowed down if you don't draw a sight card or something.
I think 5 RP is good because, as you said, you immediately generate raise with your team, but sometimes, depending on what card you draw, starting with 5 conspiracy pool can be, it can be quite difficult to counter your opponent if you don't immediately draw cards that you can sell. So,
yes. And that's especially the case with adversaries, seeing as so many of them cost more than 5. The really good ones cost like 6, 7.
Except for
we know from our earlier conversation, the bounty hunter costs like up to 12.
Yeah, that's insane.
I got one more comment. Greetings, Alien Investigations. Yes. Oh yeah, that is the name of my channel. I don't know if you've noticed.
No, I had not seen that. Yeah, no.
Oh, you had, and actually, well, if the last video I did with David ever gets uploaded, I did do a little title card intro, which I'll be adding to this as well. It's it's fairly generic, but I like it. But let me know what your thoughts are on it. It's
I'm really looking forward to watching it.
Dancing aliens and whatnot in it, so be because you guys know full well that my team is very strong in alien investigation.
Yeah.
Kevin to boot. Just in alien investigations seemed like, an appropriate channel name. And also, it's a play on, and I don't know how much you read Marvel comics or watch any Marvel
I don't.
shows. Okay. Yeah,
No.
it was a play on the Private Eye company Alias investigations, for which one of the characters, Jessica Jones, is self-employed.
Actually, I think Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and Luke Cage were the only Marvel-related shows that I watched.
They're good shows, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, but I think it's just going to include, the four of us, including Nathan and anyone else who feels inclined to want to play against us. Every time I post these in the Facebook group, I'll be, throwing it out there. Hey, so if anyone wants to get in on it, so that way we get more players, a greater variety of teams and gameplay going on. I think that would be fun. Because I have been messaged by a couple of people in recent weeks. A couple of them. And then we've seen people occasionally post online, hey, who wants to play a game? And then who's available to play? And then, we throw out our availabilities, but I haven't heard back from any of them yet.
Yeah, it would be good to see new strategies, maybe, and new teams.
Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and sign us off. Thank you all for watching, and tune in next time for more gameplay.